Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you and the headline reads, "Unbelievable, see what Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer said that will shake the presidency and liberate all regions in Nigeria." But before we go into the news and further analysis, we would love you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it as soon as we update our channel. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. The lawyer to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu's Aloy Ejiofor, has advised Southeast not to oppose any bills on Boko's agency. Barrister Aloy Ejiofor said there is no need fighting the bill on Boko. That's Boko agency, but South should focus on Biafra referendum. According to Ejiofor, who said this via his social media handle, advised South to bring out a bill to be in control of their resources. And Southeast, he said, let's quote him now, he said, "Dear Southeast, instead of opposing the bill on Boko's agency, sponsor a concurrent bill for an agency for referendum on Biafra. Then the South should also bring out a bill that has 100% resource control. The Southwest should also bring out a bill they should tag along with one on autonomy, and North Central should also reintroduce Oka's excision. So let the merry go round." Well, you've heard what he said. Alright, you've heard what Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, that's IPOB lawyer, has said. But let's before we go into further analysis, let's hear what Nigerians are saying. Let's feel the pulse of Nigerians online, what they have to say about this wonderful advice. One here says, "Dear Ejiofor, thanks for your thoughtfulness, 100% right and timely." Another one said, "I salute you, my barrister. This is the kind of man we need for the struggle to carry on. God will continue to guide and protect you from the hands of monsters." This one says, "This crop of governors we have in the Southeast are not worthy to control even a classroom, always looking to Bokos for others. They lack courage, they look so stupid on very important issues concerning their domain. Worst of all is their failure to appreciate the importance of security that they left in the hands of House of Fulani is an unforgivable sin. We will not forgive, neither shall we forget." That may probably be a Biafran talking here. This one says Biafra is warming up now. All Southeast and South governors and notable statements are now strongly in support of actualization of Biafra. Biafra has come at last. And that one says here, "God bless you, Mr. Lawyer. I had said this somewhere. Whether you protest or fight Boko, it does not make any meaning. Doesn't make any difference. The program is already in progress. So why the noise about the bill to constitutionalize it? Throw in your own bills, which also must pass first and second reading in the House. Since the chambers is a theater for bills, bring in your own. Your recommendations are apt: referendum, resource control, restructuring, even rescattering. Pata. Okay. This one here says it's time to talk about Biafra. We Southeast and South should come together and fight for our right. This one said, "Nice one, let it take up." Another one says, "Wise man." Here another one here says, good advice does not require any answer than action. Well done, sir." And that one here says, the Hausas are majority in the House. They can answer and counter every other person's bill and promote theirs. That's the problem of this country. And that one says, "Not anymore. Middle Belt is now tagging along with the South." This one here says, "All bill brought now is all about selfishness, not about Nigerian development. Other regions will throw out their own bill that is commensurate with theirs. After all, when Southwest launched Amotekun, they went immediately and launched Kaifaye." Another one here says, "You're on point." This one here says, "Full of wisdom." This one said, "This is just the truth." This one said, "Very simple and correct." This one said, "That is if the southern senators are interested in their region." This one says, "This is a wise advice by this gentleman. We must abide by it now." This one here says, Thank you, bros. If they will heed to your advice, that's all. A wise advice, word of wisdom and good advice. Kudos." And that one here says, I salute you, sir. This one says, more kudos to your wisdom. God in heaven will continue to guard you. Okay, this one says, a powerful idea, beautiful, my learned friend. But if you can see, if you look at through what Nigerians are generally saying, that's how much we take actually online concerning what Nigerians are saying. But if you look at what Nigerians are saying generally about this, you see that Nigerians are fully in support of his idea. But looking at what he has said, let's interact. Looking at what he has said, I 100% agree with what he's saying. Now, we know that this bill on Bokos, generally, when bills are being introduced in the House, it takes the intervention of God for it not to pass first and second reading, except there's an outcry. But the issue of Bokos may not, much as there's an outcry, but you know how this country runs. In the House, we still have some majority carrying the vote. I totally agree with the lawyer of IPOB here. If you can't counter them, let's bring out another bill or other bills from each region, and that will balance it up. Take, for instance, if they allow the Boko bills to move on, and the Southeasterners senators bring out referendum that will favor Biafra. As a Boko bill is going through first reading, referendum is going through first reading. While we are still at it, the Southwest now brings autonomy, power of autonomy, that they want to have autonomous power over everything that has to do with each region. Now, if power of autonomy goes through, if referendum doesn't go through, a power of autonomy will go through. And if power of autonomy goes through, that is restructuring in a way. So that means by the time Boko is going through first reading, power of autonomy is going through first reading, second reading. Then before you know it, all regions are having power of autonomy. So which means this issue of a Boko bill, it goes straightly to the north. While the autonomy, now everyone now begins to enjoy autonomy. If you don't want the autonomy, then allow referendum to play through. By the time a referendum moves through first reading, second reading, is beginning to pass enter the law. And you begin to see that the real deal of every region who wants to secede, now you begin to see the picture coming to light. And then the last one, he talked about the Okas excision. What we wonder, what does excision means in this case? What does it mean by, why was he referring to the North Central, bringing that bill? I had to look through, and I realized that during that time, sometime in 1990, in the days of Babangida, General Babangida, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, there was a coup, that took place then. That Okas secession was the man that was in charge of the coup. Him and some other military guys were in the know. They planned a coup, but luckily for Ibrahim IBB, he went through the back door in Lagos. So somehow, he managed to stop it. But before now, they took over the radio of Nigeria, Federal Radio Nigeria, and they insisted that 5 of the northern states should be deleted, as in they should be removed. They should not be in existence. Now, when the lawyer of IPOB said that particular situation, I perceive what he's trying to say is this. Now, since some of the states, some of northern states are becoming an insurgent-prone zones, like the Borno state, like Adamawa. Adamawa is beginning to, look at like Yobe, Damaturu, and all those, states that are already now insurgent prone. We can actually delete them. What I mean by delete, I'm not saying kill the people. I'm saying as in have a way of rounding them up one, and declare state of emergency on them, and see how you can control them, so to speak, so that way it won't infiltrate the whole of the nation. So that means the last state that enters the other states will become like a border to Nigeria, while we push the insurgents to the extreme and probably extinguish them totally. So why he's saying that, he's saying North Central should bring out that particular bill where they will, delete at least these insurgent states, so that they don't become a menace to Nigeria as a whole, so that all concentration will be on this state, so that they can wipe the issue of insurgent totally from those borders. That's one. Then he now mentioned that while the North Central is talking about this excision bill, that the South should be talking about 100% resource control. So you begin to see, by the time you say no to this, are you going to say no to all the 4 or 5 bills? No, it's not possible. If the northern people are talking about Boko bill, then the southeastern senators are talking about referendum bill. The southwestern people are talking about autonomy. The southerners are talking about 100% resource control. Then the north central people are talking about excision. Then you begin to see either which way. Let the merry-go. I said, let the whole merriment, let it begin. You think you're the only one that have ideas, and all these 5 bills are beneficial to Nigeria and Nigerians. Yes, if we go through referendum, now voting is allowed. Now, who are those who want to go for referendum? Who go for Biafra? You see hands are up. International, now it's not infringing our law. You understand? Referendum is allowed. So a lot of things, referendum will play into, voting will come into play here. As in, transparent one, not the ones that we usually see here that is INEC induced. We're talking about real transparent voting here, that is referendum. Now, if you say no to referendum, now the Southwesterners are saying, look, give us autonomy. Want autonomy to control all our regions. By default, Amotaku is already taking shape, even though they are saying it is not so that the state policing, but as time goes on, we begin to see that it's taking structure and characteristics of regional policing. But by the time Southwesterners are asking for autonomy, they will not want to accept it. Some of these northern senators will say no to it. But then if you say no to it, will you also say no to the bill that Southerners will say, okay, give us 100% resource control? They will also say no to it. So it will not be a case of, because after all, the place is a theater where bill proposal is allowed. So by the time every region begin to speak what benefits their region, and everyone begins to lobby, at the end of the day, find out that one way or the other benefits someone. Honestly, it's a win-win for all regions. Imagine where you can now remove some parts of states that are already insurgent prone, and concentrate on them. That's honestly, it's one of the best advices I've ever seen in a long, long while. But the challenge is, who will be bold enough to introduce the bill for referendum? Which one of them will be bold enough to introduce the bill for 100% resource control? Which one of the senators will be bold enough to introduce a bill for autonomy for all regions? Because by the time you introduce this, these bills, there's this general belief that very soon DSS will come searching for you if you keep introducing bills that will not favor the powers that be in this time. But that's how much I can take on this. I feel this is one of the best advice, the best one that I definitely know that by the time the presidency gets to know this, and of course already he's in the know, but now they're now watching who will be the one to do the introduction. But I feel that the senators should take the bulls by the horns and do it. If someone can introduce Boko bill against all, somebody should also have the balls and the boldness also to introduce bill for referendum. Someone also have the balls also to introduce bill for resource control, 100% resource control. Someone should also have balls in our Senate House there to introduce bills for autonomy. It doesn't take rocket science. It's all about your region. It's all about your state. It's all about what will benefit your people. But that's how much I can think. What do you think about the advice given by Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer? I'm talking about the IPOB lawyer. What do you think about his advice? I feel it's top-notch. I feel it's on point. I feel it's a good one. In fact, I thumb it up. I do not know about you.